If you want to get into coding or programming and are looking for a new PC to do so, you have two main options. You can either go with a Windows PC with a nice Intel or AMD CPU, speedy memory, and a discrete GPU, or you can get a Mac. But wait, Apple's newer M1 chips seem to be pretty good competition for the market. Though if you're like me, you would still choose a Windows PC since you're more comfortable around the OS and you are already familiar with the software you have on Windows. But there are actually many very reasonable reasons you should buy Mac that in some cases make it exponentially better than a PC that you may not have considered. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. The first advantage of picking a Mac over Windows is, well, the OS. macOS is Unix based, which is an operating system that makes it easier to set up a development environment. macOS is built on top of Darwin, which is an open source operating system released by Apple in 2000. It's largely derived from BSD, which is another operating system similar to Linux, sorta. Basically, this means a Mac can run any Linux program, and Linux is generally a great operating system with powerful programming tools like grep. And one interesting program I found was Wit, which literally gives you the power to manipulate ISOs and edit Wii and GameCube images. Now, I know most of you aren't going to be needing to do that, but I hope I haven't lost you yet. Linux is a very free OS and was designed to make programming a breeze. Windows is admittedly bug-ridden and often have issues without any way of fixing them besides waiting for the next Windows update. Whereas Windows is mainly GUI based, macOS will let you use the terminal using real shells and obtain overall more control of your system. The second advantage of picking a Mac is the community support for macOS. macOS has a ton of tools, resources, and services available to its users that help development tremendously. One tool is Homebrew, an open source software that simplifies the installation on software on macOS and Linux. Some of you might have heard of Homebrew from people altering like Nintendo Switches or DS's, and that's because it works on Linux and a lot of those devices are based on Linux. It can build software on the Mac depending on the user's taste. Homebrew can directly connect with GitHub, and it has tools for stuff like Node.js, which makes it great for web development, tools to manage Python, Ruby, tools for image edits, and practically anything you would ever need for a computer development project of any kind. Now, Homebrew is Mac and Linux OS only. It does not exist for Windows. Yes, Windows does have some alternatives, but I personally find Homebrew to be the best. Another of many tools available for Mac is called Mac Ports. It's a repository of direct ports of Linux tools. So Mac's connection to Linux makes it a powerhouse for programming and development. It's not just Unix that makes Mac so great. Some people find that their GUI is better than any other OS and therefore more user-friendly. On top of this, if you already own an iPhone or any Apple product, it will be able to connect directly to your Mac and literally extract any file to your Mac from that device. You can technically do this on Windows too, but I've never personally actually been able to transfer a video file over to my PC without the process being interrupted and canceled halfway through. The best way for me is to transfer all my files through Google Drive, which highly depends on your upload speed, and it only has 15 gigs of free storage, which in current day could be about a 45-minute 4K video. A 30-minute 4K video recorded on an iPhone typically takes about 10.5 gigabytes, so those 15 gigabytes will fill up fairly quickly if you want to get into content creation. There's so many cool features on the macOS GUI like gestures, GUI automation with JavaScript, and so on, but it would take a long time to cover everything. One thing I will touch on is that macOS has great recovery software. Every computer with macOS comes with a recovery partition that lets you reinstall macOS straight from Apple's servers. Unlike Windows, you won't need a USB boot drive when reinstalling your operating system, which has always been not very user-friendly, and it's very hard to explain to someone how to do it. And you can recover from a bad system crash by reinstalling macOS without losing any files. One reason people may want to stick to Windows is because of their wide variety of creative suites and software like Adobe Cloud, Visual Studio Code, Blender, and whatnot. But actually, all the softwares I just mentioned are also available for Mac. Surprisingly, most of your Windows softwares will be available for Mac. And sometimes Mac actually has more. Mac has programs like Final Cut Pro, a very powerful and industry standard video editor, Affinity Designer, which is also available for Windows now but was originally offered and created for Mac, Premiere Pro, iMovie, DaVinci Resolve, any Autodesk software, and so forth. Most of those are offered for Windows 2, besides all the Apple programs like Final Cut Pro, iMovie, GarageBand, etc. I know some of you are probably wondering, well, Evan, great, but what did you choose? Well, I still chose Windows. Specifically, I chose the Dell XPS 15. I found that the CPU and discrete graphics would be better for me because I do lots of experimenting with 3D design, which favors Windows. If I was going strict into programming and nothing else, I probably would have gone with a Mac. Because I'm interested in game design and that field has been led by Windows for many years, some games are not even offered for Mac because they were designed strictly for Windows, like Skyrim, Valorant, Doom, Fallout, Lego Star Wars, Apex, Rocket League, the list can go on and on. Mac wasn't made for games, and it hasn't been for years, so this isn't really much of a surprise. And if you're really not looking into playing games on your laptop because you have a desktop, this shouldn't matter too much to you. But in summary, if you are looking to program and go into a career like database admin, software development, or web development, just to name a few, you could greatly benefit from picking a Mac over a Windows PC. Especially with the price of Mac and Windows PCs leveling off a fair bit in recent years, a Mac is really a great choice right now. If you are looking to go into game design, animation, or maybe you just want to be able to play some games in your free time, then a Windows PC may still be the best choice for you. Well, I hope you learned a lot from this video and it helped you understand the benefits of owning a Mac and why Windows really isn't the only option when it comes to programming and creative fields. If you like this video and you want to see more videos similar to it, please be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I've got many other videos on their way too. That'll be all from me today, but I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.